Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. So today I have a few new makeup products that I want to share with you and, put them on my face, share with you my final thoughts at the end of the video. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. And if you are new, I'd love for you to consider subscribing to my channel and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And let's just get right into this video. So starting out with concealer. So Lancome came out with a new concealer. And if you don't know, they have their original Tint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation, which is the foundation that I am currently wearing today. I am wearing the shade 435 Bisque Warm. And I do like this foundation. It is in its natural state to matte for me, but I just add an illuminator underneath and I think it gives beautiful coverage. And I really love the lasting power of it as well. It says that it lasts 24 hours, and this is definitely one of those long-wearing, long-lasting foundations. So when I saw that they were coming out with a concealer, I was very interested in it. So this is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear All Over 24-Hour Concealer. It does retail for $29. It comes in 20 shades, and we get a total of 13 milliliters or 0.43 fluid ounces of product. So this is a hydrating, lightweight, full coverage concealer that brightens dark under eyes and covers imperfections without creasing or caking. It's infused with skin-loving ingredients. It's a multi-use concealer, so you can use this as an under eye concealer. You can use it all over the face like a foundation, or you can use it as well to contour. This particular concealer has a matte finish, a natural matte finish, an ultra blendable formula, and it's supposed to not settle into fine lines or a crease. So I picked up the shade 360 Bisque Neutral, and this is not the concealer for me, I will say that. Number one, I do think this shade is a bit too neutral for me. The shade after it is 415 Bisque Warm, so that shade might work a little better for my liking. I feel like I'm I'm almost gray under the eyes. I don't know if you all can see it on camera, but when I applied it initially, that's how I felt, that it looked almost a little cool, like too cool in its undertone. And I know that it's neutral, but I think it might be a little too cool. The other thing that I did not like, and what I like the least about the concealer, is that I don't think this is a natural matte. I think this is a traditional matte type of concealer, and I found it a little hard to blend out. So when I think of ultra blendable, because that's in the description, I think I'm able to take my concealer brush and literally just tap it out and it just blends effortlessly. I felt like I actually had to almost like tug a little bit to pull the product to blend it along the under eye, which I don't like to do. And I also felt like after I used my brush, it was just kind of like sitting on top of my skin. It didn't like blend into my skin. So then I went in with a damp sponge. This is the BK Beauty sponge. And I think that did a little bit, but it just still felt like it was sitting on top of my skin. And so I don't really know about this. I think if you have dry under eyes, I would steer clear of this completely. I have, if I could say, I don't have like dry under eyes, but the skin there is a little bit drier than the skin along the rest of my face. So if a concealer is more matte, it's going to look dry. And I just think this looked dry, and I didn't use a lot. So I think if you have like oily skin or combo oily skin, but you like for your under eyes to have more of like that flawless matte finish, I think you will really enjoy this concealer. But for me, I need a little bit more hydration to my concealers, and I also want something that's gonna blend a little bit easier, a little bit more effortlessly. I'm curious to see what Gabe Loves Makeup thinks. He has extremely dry skin from what he says, and I saw that he posted a review. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. So I'll link his video in my description box because he has dry skin, and if he likes it, maybe I can get some tips from him on how to use it. But so far, this is not going to be a concealer that I'm going to prefer just off first impressions and just how it I wanted a little bit more blendability from it. And before I put on the Tint Idole foundation, I did use my La Mer Hydrating Illuminator because I knew, like I said earlier, this foundation is very matte for my skin. So I went in with this to help the product blend a little easier and not look like a flat matte on my complexion. So I don't know, maybe this is a concealer if you have maybe normal skin or dry skin that you're gonna wanna pair with more of a satin, dewier, luminous foundation. Maybe that pairing would work nicely. But these two together are not my favorite, just off first impression. So that's that. I think it's a pretty concealer. It's definitely got really great coverage. And I set my face with powder, but I didn't need to set it because I felt like it wasn't going to crease. I just felt like it would not, especially how it looked. It wasn't, you know, luminous or anything like that. So I think there's potential with this concealer. I just think either it needs to be on the right skin or the right combination of products need to be used with it. So those are my initial thoughts. If my thoughts change on this product, I will let you all know after continued use. This is just a first impression with this product. And just to let you all know, I did go in with the Kosas Cloud Setting Powder in Pillowy to smooth everything out across my face. Okay, so that's that. I'm a little disappointed because I was looking forward to that and I thought I'm gonna really enjoy this. But like I said, maybe it's just me and how I initially used it. On to my second new product. I could not resist these Christian Louboutin products. And I did not need these. I did not, but I wanted them. So this is the box that the products came in. It's 2 boxes, so I'm just gonna show you one. And you open it up and the actual product was sitting in this groove here. There's also a little pin right here that I think just popped out. Yeah, it just popped out. So it's a little pin right here that if you want to take the palette out of the actual holder, you can use it and pop it out, which I thought was nice. You don't have to worry about breaking your nose trying to get it out. I initially thought like maybe I don't need to buy this decorative case. You know, maybe I can just buy the actual palette and leave it in the cartridge that it comes in. But this is the cartridge that it comes in and it is quite thin and cheap. So, I mean, you don't have to have the palette, but this is not going to protect your palette. You know, especially if like you were to drop it or like, I don't know, do anything that might actually damage the product. So you kind of have to purchase the palette. So here is the Abracadabra La Palette Blush and Highlighter Palette Refill. I picked up the one in So Privé and it retails for $78 on Nordstrom's website. I picked mine up from Selfridges and I think I paid $71 for it. This palette container or this palette holder or case, there we go, palette case, is going to be sold separately and it does retail on Selfridges for $71 and on Nordstrom it is $78 as well. So this palette is going to contain 2 blushes and a highlighter in the middle, and I really enjoy the way that these blushes apply to the face and also the highlighter. So all 3 formulas have more of that gelée type of formulation. So I went in with my Sonia G Base 1 brush and I think it picked up the blushes very well and applied them to the cheek. And this highlighter, oh, the highlighter, as you saw from the demonstration, is just stunning. I think if you have a deeper complexion, maybe like 1 or 2 shades deeper than me, I think, you know, anyone from lighter to about 1 or 2 shades deeper than me could definitely enjoy this particular blush and highlighter palette. I really enjoy this a lot and I'm very happy that I picked this one up. Just to give you a quick swatch of the shades. So here is the darker blush shade, the highlighter shade, and then the lighter blush shade. I think all three of them applied really beautifully on the skin. And I also like that the formula is buildable. So if you didn't want to apply a very intense amount of blush, you're not gonna get this right off the bat with this particular formulation. But if you wanted to build the product up, you definitely can do that. And you'll get a really pretty deposit of that color. So I really enjoy how this face palette looks on the cheeks. Okay, Riley girl, you can't be sitting up here making all this noise. And then I picked up this eyeshadow here. So this is the eyeshadow palette. This is in the Rose Pigalle shade or palettes. There's two other palettes just like with the face palette. This one also retails for $78 on Nordstrom, $71 on Selfridges, and then the case also retails for $78. Straight up, this is not a need at all. I would recommend the face palette over the eyeshadow palette. Now, this is not to say that I don't enjoy the eyeshadow palette. This is just to say that, number one, for me, these are not colors that I don't have. Also, even though the formulation is different, so in this particular palette, or in any of the palettes, you can get matte, shimmers, satined, or metallic formulas. And in this particular one, as you can see, there are no matte shades. We do have shimmer shades, satin shades, and a metallic shade as well. So these are colors that I feel if you own a decent amount of eyeshadow palettes and eyeshadows, you probably have these colors for sure. The formula is not so groundbreaking that it's like you might have the shades but you don't have the formula. I think if you get these eyeshadow palettes, you need to understand that these eyeshadows are going to be they're, for the most part, are going to apply to the eye a little more soft. This deeper brown shade right here definitely is intense and can provide you a nice smoky eye. But all in all, these shades are not going to be intense and, you know, give you like that dramatic eye look that you might get from other eyeshadow palettes. I think this is just a beautiful everyday type of eyeshadow palette. Simple, you know, one that you're just gonna reach for and kind of know the look that you're gonna get because you kind of always go with that look or that look combination. And I think that's fine. Just know that that's what you're gonna get going into this, and I feel like with the eyeshadow palette more so than with the face palette, I'm truly paying for the experience, the luxury, you know, a little bit of Louboutin. You know, we've got the same red patent that you find on the classic and iconic red bottom shoes. So I think, you know, the eyeshadow palette, for me, if I had to choose between the eyeshadow palette and the face palette, I'm going for the eyeshadow palette. But I do enjoy it. I've used it twice now, and I've enjoyed how both eye looks have turned out. I'm a matte girl when it comes to putting eyeshadows in the crease, so I wish I had a matte in this particular one, but then I can also go in with another eyeshadow palette or my bronzer if I wanted to do that. Today, though, I didn't do that because I wanted to show you all how you can create an eye look with just that palette. And like I said, it's definitely a beautiful palette. And I think the formulations of the eyeshadows are really pretty. They're smooth and blendable, and they are buildable, but it's just nothing that you don't already have, and it's not a need. The face palette, I would say, is not a need as well, but I think the face palette is one that I would reach for most definitely more than eyeshadow palette. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. But all in all, I'm very glad that I picked them both up. I'm glad that I didn't rush to get them, that I bought them when I, you know, was ready to buy them, but I'm very glad that I have them. Moving on to a new mascara. So Wayne Goss came out with a new mascara. I have to thank Wayne Goss and Beautylish for gifting me this mascara. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. If you know anything about me and you know how I feel about Wayne Goss products, I truly and genuinely love pretty much everything that he's come out with. I really enjoy his products. So I was very much looking forward to this mascara when I saw the announcement, and I am pleased with this. So this retails for $24, and Wayne says this is not a magic wand, this is just mascara. And so from what he said, he was sick and tired of, you know, brands coming out with mascaras and making all of these claims that were basically impossible. He wanted to come out with a mascara that was going to be waterproof. He wanted to come out with one that's going to lengthen your lashes and hold the curl, add volume, and do what it needs to do. And so he believes that he's accomplished that with his mascara. He said that he made it waterproof because waterproof mascaras can hold the curl a little bit longer, and he goes into a little bit more detail in his video. But I was very much pleasantly surprised with this mascara because I really do think this particular mascara does what he says it's going to do. I find that it does provide a lot of length to my lashes. I get some volume as well. It's not the most voluminous, but it does bring enough volume to where I'm like, okay. And what's impressive to me is that anytime I wear mascara without wearing false lashes, I always use a lash primer, like religiously, because I want to get as much drama with the mascara. Well, in this particular demonstration, I did not use any type of lash primer because I wanted to show you all how it worked without it, and I think it brought the drama without even needing to use a lash primer or even curling my lashes. So I do think this is a really good mascara. I think it definitely holds true to its claim. I've also worn this a few times. It has lasted very well on my eyes. It lasted throughout the day. There was very minimal transfer to the lower lash line, which I was very happy about. And I really like this. I think this is one that I could see myself repurchasing. I really enjoyed the wand as well. So the wand is very different. The spikes on it are very fine, and so for me, I feel like it allows for it to comb through every lash that you possibly have and actually get mascara onto every lash. So I think that helps to allow for the drama in your lashes. I have, you know, like most people, very small lashes right in the inner corner of my eye, and sometimes if the wand is too thick, I'm like getting mascara all on the inner portion of my eyes, and then it's like just pitch black because it's like a clump of mascara along those like few hairs there. Whereas with Wayne's mascara, I was able to actually get mascara on those hairs and like fan them out. He also said with this formulation that when you pull the wand out of the tube, you're only going to get the amount of mascara that you need. So this is going to prevent clumping of your mascara. No matter how many times you dip the wand back into the tube, you're only going to pull out enough so you don't even have to wipe the wand on the side of the tube, and you're just going to get really beautiful lashes. And so I think he did a great job formulating this. I'm very happy to have this one. So yeah, I think this is a good one. Very happy with it. I did put on false lashes just because I wanted a little bit more drama. But this is a mascara where, especially when I use my lash curler and my lash primer, I definitely won't need to feel like I need to put on lashes if I don't want to. And then lastly, a lip product. So the lip that I'm wearing is from Kaleidos. So they came out with their Flower Punk collection, which consisted of an eyeshadow palette, 2 collections of lip products, which they are liquid lip products, and then a lip balm. So I have here one of the lip collections. First of all, the packaging is just beautiful. It's so stunning. And Kaleidos always comes through with that unique packaging, out of the box concepts, and I really do like their products. They did send this to me complimentary, so thank you so much for sending this to me. So the shade that I have on today is in the shade Cactus Flower, and she is gorgeous. So I'll do a quick little swatch here. I love shades like this, especially for the summertime. They're bright and they're bold. This formulation is a liquid lipstick, but it has more of like a moussey, almost velvety-like texture. So it sits quite comfortably on the lips. And you don't feel like your lips dry out either, which I really do like. I don't know if these shades are sold individually, but I will of course link it down below. And guys, that is it. Wasn't a lot of products here today, but just wanted to share a few of them with you. Let me know what you think of the makeup look that I created and the products that I used today. And of course, let me know your thoughts if you've tried them. And if you made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, definitely consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad, because we'd love to have you. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.